What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so we have two uniforms that we're going to be taking a look at today. Since we only have two with this update here, I'm just going to throw them both into this video here instead of splitting it up into a separate video for each uniform. So we're going to go ahead and hop right in with Cable's new uniform. So here we have Cable's X-Force uniform. The uniform bonus is going to be whenever he uses his 5th skill, the Plasma Shower, it's going to increase chain hit damage by 10% for 5 seconds. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It should help his damage out, but I'm not sure if that's going to stack or interact with the CTP of Energy's chain hit damage. I'm hoping that it's not going to cancel it out, and at best case scenario, it will stack because the CTP of Energy, of course, is going to give you a lot more than just 10%. So definitely would prefer the CTP of Energy to have priority if they're going to kind of interact with each other. But if you just have a regular obelisk with just a flat damage proc on it, then of course this is going to help out, because then he's basically going to be getting the effects of a CTP of Energy on a basic obelisk with this uniform effect. But we have two skill changes here as well, so we're going to take a look at those. The first skill here, looks like it's exactly the same in terms of the text, so it's just going to be the animation that's changed, I'm pretty sure, because we have a remove. Yeah, it still looks like it removes all the same things, and we still have a 20% chance for the attacks to miss. And then over here, this is his third skill. Oh, they actually have it labeled correctly now. It says 1 and 3. Before, it just had the skill change and just went 1, 2, 3, 4, and it didn't really correlate to what the actual skill itself was. At least I'm pretty sure. I think this is new, that it actually tells you the skill number itself. But anyway, we're going to have some nice changes here, because he does have a damage accumulation now. So his attack is going to increase by 2.5% for each 1% of damage taken, and that's going to be for 10% of his max HP, or it stacks up to 10%. So that's really nice. So it's going to help out his damage even more. He already had extremely high DPS, but now it's going to go up even more with this accumulation effect here. I'm not sure how much, but of course, if you're going to be using Cable as one of your ABX characters, I see you probably needing this uniform to stay competitive. And also, I think it's going to help out quite a bit in World Boss Ultimate, and we'll get into that once we look at the actual animation changes. And then the guard against hit for 5 hits for 5 seconds is the same. The recovery for 5% of HP for 4 seconds, I believe, is the same. I know it was 5%, but I don't know if it was over 4 seconds or not. Without the uniform. Can't remember for sure, but either way, we're still retaining the heal, which is nice. So let's go ahead and jump into the skill preview here and actually see what the changes look like on the skills themselves. Alright, so as I said, it's going to be the first and third skill that got the changes. So let's go ahead and look at the first skill here. So what I like about this skill is, yes, we do have some lingering dot damage there with kind of the flames on the ground, which is really nice. But the biggest change to me that stands out is the iframe is a lot quicker now, because that was one of my main concerns whenever I use the first skill with Cable, is that it has a delayed iframe, and sometimes I get hit or guard broken out of the skill when I'm using the first skill here, which can be quite annoying. But now it looks like this will solve that problem. I don't think you have to worry about getting guard broken anymore if you don't have guard break immunity on him when you're using the first skill, because the iframe is a lot quicker. So yeah, I like that change, and it looks like we're going to get some more damage out of the first skill now, because I don't think it had any kind of lingering effects. It might have shot some missiles, but I don't think it did. So I think we're getting more kind of hits and dot damage with the first skill now. Now moving on to the third skill. So third skill is now an iframe, because I don't think the third skill was an iframe before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that any part of the third skill was an iframe. So this is nice. So now we have an iframe there. We do have the same kind of dot damage with the missiles or lingering effects, so that is the same. So it looks like we're getting more hits there, because this beginning animation right here where he's actually kind of pulling the enemies in, that is new. Normally we just get kind of the missiles, and Cable would go into a meditation, and that's where he would start healing. So now this is safer if you actually need the healing, because you won't be able to get guard broken out of the healing. And it looks like, yeah, we just get to retain the healing as well, because it's over the 4 seconds. So perfect. I like both of these skill changes here. They really seem to help in his survivability department, because Yes, he did do a lot of damage, but he was kind of a glass cannon. He'd get taken down quite quickly in World Boss Ultimate, and even in ABX if you're not careful. Just a few hits from the Frost Beast and Cable is pretty much toast. So I do like these skill changes. Looks like it's going to help out in survivability, and he's actually going to get even more damage, so I'm curious to see how that's going to affect his scores, and not to mention, of course, the uniform bonuses itself. Just the regular all attack and all defense from the uniform is going to help him out too, and the fact that he can now go to level 70, so Cable's looking like he's going to be a real beast. So I really do like this uniform, so I'm definitely going to be picking up this uniform. It does enough for the character that I want to grab it for myself, and yeah. Oh, well, I guess I could have just got it right there. But moving on to Colossus here. So I'm on the fence if I'm going to be getting Colossus's uniform. I'm pretty sure I will, just because I'm going to be getting him to tier 2 anyway to get Strife. So why not? So his uniform bonus is going to be immunity to fracture effect, which is a new effect that Strife can cause. And I believe it just reduces your attack and your healing or something like that. Or it applies like a heal block and attack down, or when it expires it applies a heal reduction. Either way, I can't really remember. I only looked at it just once, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with attack and healing. So we have 3 skill changes here for Colossus: the first skill, the second skill, and the third skill. The first skill, we now have a stun and a fear, because that is new, so that's nice. And then over here we have the same... We have the same effects in terms of the all defense and all speed down. I'm pretty sure those are the same. But then we also have a penetration effect here, which is really nice. So he's going to be able to do more damage now to enemies with... does that have invincibility? No, just all damage immune. So all damage immune, a super armor, barrier, and shield, which is nice because he definitely needed a little something to make him more useful in PvP, because that's where a lot of his use is, because of the reflect and also the reduction of reflect when he's attacking as well. The third skill here is where he really gets the biggest boost from the uniform, and that is because he does get some damage accumulation, which is really going to help out his damage, because he definitely needs that. His damage was pretty low, but this is going to solve hopefully a lot of that issue there with the damage accumulation. And then also he's going to get a 35% increase to all defense. He's also going to reduce the enemy's defense with this skill, and he's going to give himself a flat all attack, all defense, and all speed boost. So this skill is really nice here. So I definitely like to change this skill in terms of what it gives Colossus with the effects. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the animation and see what that looks like in a second. So yeah, this third skill right here looks like it's pretty much going to be the saving grace for Colossus in terms of making him a lot more useful with damage and survivability as well. So let's see what these skills actually look like in terms of the animation changes. So the first skill, I kind of think that's exactly the same. I think the only change is actually the stun and the fear, because I want to say that's the same 2 punches that he had before on his first skill. I could be wrong, but either way, it doesn't look like it's changed much if it has. The second skill, so it looks like that belly flop right there at the end is definitely going to be the change, because I believe it was just a regular 2-hit combo before, because I remember when Colossus first came out and I did his first skill and then his second skill, I was pretty much like, these are like the same skills. I didn't see any change, so they did a little bit of change here. But mainly it's just going to be the effects that the skills are giving, it looks like, are going to be the main draws for the uniform here. So now the third skill. Third skill, again, it looks like the animation is exactly the same. I don't really see any changes in the animations themselves, so it looks like it's just the skill effects that are changing, and the skill effects, though, are really nice, so that is tempting me to get this uniform here. So I'm probably going to pick it up if I have enough crystals, but I'm going to be getting cables first. So actually, let's go ahead and back out here. So overall, I think the uniform is a really good boost for Colossus. Definitely, if you're going to be using Colossus, I would recommend getting that uniform, because it does help him out significantly in terms of damage and also a little bit in survivability. So Cable's uniform we're going to be getting. Boom. There we are. And I do have enough actually to get Colossus's, so I might actually get it. Let's see, this is only... It's only 2 seconds of damage immunities, so it's not going to help out his survivability a ton. But like I said, it's enough that I think I'm going to get it. So, boom, there we go. So I got both the uniforms from the update. Colossus, I was a little bit on the fence about, but Cable I definitely think is worth it if you're looking at which uniform out of these two you should get if you only have a few crystals left over, especially after getting the Psylocke pack, because that will set you back quite a bit. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.